Yo,
Yes,
what's up?
sir.
We got Mattics on the track. Mattics made it.
Yes, sir. We here in 232 studio
Oh
working
shit.
on. I'm actually working on the next joint we got for the side B of 777. But yeah, we here.
Side B,
Side B.
y'all dropping vinyl?
Yeah, we trying to drop actually we want to go the NFT route, but that's further down the line. We want to do. We have like a whole merch plan for this shit. We're gonna have collectible vinyl. Thinking about having a hat collection, specialty hat, and we want to do a one-on-one varsity jacket with all the song titles on like each inch of the arm and shit like that. So,
Copy.
yeah, like Velcro on the inside, like
That's
it's gonna
hard.
be great. Then excuse me,
Word.
Velcro velvet.
So we at the 777 project. That's the latest thing that you about to drop.
Yeah.
We need to take a trip back in time so we can see how you got started for all the people that don't know. You feel me? So do you mind letting me know how you got into music production?
So I've been making music about 12 years now, including this year. Yeah. So my love for music just came from my love of sports. Like every time I would play soccer when I was younger, I would always turn to all types of music to just get me hyped up and to just like really just get me going and to just be hype about practice and shit like that.
Copy.
So I actually got into it. I always just admired it from a listener perspective in that sense. So when I started hanging out with my cousin as I got older, I noticed he made his own games and he used to do the foliage. He used to do like the background music to all his shit. So I used to watch him work and I would be so like amazed at like how he did that shit. So I just sat down with him one day. I just asked him how he did it. And he showed me like a bunch of guitar riffs. Like connected his guitar to this amp, connected it to the computer, and then he did like some dark kind of chord for this level or whatever he was making. And I was just amazed. I was like, yo, show me how to do this. So he sat down with me basically for like a straight week. Actually, I'm lying. It was a bunch of weekends. It was like 3 weekends because I couldn't come over that often. So I had to force my way to get over there every weekend. And he was just show me. I got good enough to a point where he let me borrow his machine. Two actually has his own machine over here. But he let me borrow his machine and just install the software on my own computer, and then the rest is history, honestly. Like, I would just show him, like, the next few months, I would just show him whatever I came up with, and he would just, like, critique it. He actually helped me with my, like, composition and, like, music theory knowledge and stuff like that, because he would just correct anything I was doing wrong, like, any sour notes, like no, this can't go here because it's just... it's not right, classically it's not correct.
I know you got a lot of keys in your production. You know how to play the piano before your cousin, or?
I do not. I am self-taught with everything.
Oh, that's fire.
It's funny because he is actually the only person in my family that's musically inclined. Like, I'm probably just the black sheep in a sense, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So, yeah. It's just straight intuition and just self.
So it's really all off the feeling. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you said that he let you use his machine software. So is that the first program that you started on?
Definitely. Along with GarageBand. Yeah, GarageBand. GarageBand was the first of the first, because I literally started on the iPad before before he trusted me to take that hardware. I had to just figure out any way I could just satisfy my hunger to just make beats.
So
create.
You satisfied it with the iPad.
Yeah, I had the iPad. I just found the app that I could just do that shit on, nigga. And yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So how did you transition from? Because I see you got FL. Well, let me see if I can show them. You got FL open on your laptop. So how did the transition from machine to FL Studio?
Transition was different because machine is a drum pad, so it's like I came from just making my own kind of snare claps and making my own pads and stuff like that to like raw, having to working with synthesizers and shit like that. Cause Machine, there's not much room to work with like sound design and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, at least I didn't work with it back then, cause when I got to FL, I just got into sound design. I was just interested because there's like a whole screen. I was used to work through the Machine screen only. You know what I mean? So the transition was smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's the word for it.
Word.
Smooth.
So how long did you go from making your own beats on Machine and FL to working with another artist in the studio? Like, what was that transition like for you?
So I think maybe the first artist I ever got on a beat was, like, I guess notable. It was C Mose, and I was like 2012, I think. And I started making music 2010. So it took me 2 years. 2 years of just like making random creations and just trying to put something together. Actually, it started with somebody else, but he didn't want to. I'm not gonna throw no shade, but he didn't want to take it as far as I wanted to take it.
Okay.
So we just had to part ways. So, yeah, 2 years.
Okay, but what's your favorite part of making a beat?
My favorite part, I think, it's knowing I want to create something different from the norm. Like, as weird as that sounds, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, I never like. Well, nowadays I don't go into the beat thinking I'm gonna make this type of beat, unless I have like a set project to do. But when I'm just working on something, I just go into it like whatever feels right. You know what I mean? Like, as corny, as cliche as it sounds.
Nah, it's because music is all about a feeling, so I totally understand that.
Right. So I'll just start with a chord, and then I just take it from there. Honestly.
How do you are beats? Well, I want to ask you two questions. Do you ever feel like a beat is done, and how do you know when a beat is finished?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So I think you remember we have this song that the beat took me about like 3 weeks to make. It was way back in the day. I forgot actually the song name, but we probably didn't release it on Apple Music because it was just the mixtape stuff that we were doing. But that beat took 3 weeks to make. I kept sending it back to you, and then you got on it, and then I heard something different that it could make it smoother, like the rhythm and everything of the beat. So no, no,
it's never actually done.
It's never done to me. No.
So
it could always be better.
So you would say that all the beats that you put out are still, like, in your eyes, they're not done.
No.
I feel that.
They're never done. I think maybe I have maybe like 4 songs where I think the beat is done. And I have like maybe a total of 44 songs.
Release.
Yeah.
Got you.
In my catalog, so yeah. That's crazy.
Okay, how
40 out of 44 I don't think it's done.
Got you. How far has you producing taken you from like being inspired by your cousin? Where did you see yourself? Like, where did you see yourself? Did you ever have an end goal to your journey? And where had producing taken you to where you never thought you would be when you first started?
So producing has taken me through. It has got me through a lot of emotions and growth, which actually it actually has to do with the album that me and Two have right now too. It's like, with all the things I went through with producing, it kind of ended into this album, because all the beats I made for that album, I went through like heartbreak, just growing and trying to change, because I knew I was getting older and I have to change the way I move and the way I conducted myself for my future. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So, producing has got me into co-owning studios. It has got me connections in LA, connections in Miami, connections in Austin. Man, producing.
That's fire. That's fire. That's
producing has done a lot. Has done a lot for like my mental health. For like, of all things, I can't even. Like I will always create, bro. I can't. Yeah, no matter how old I am, even when I'm fucking 60 years old, I'm gonna be making beats somewhere.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel
somewhere.
that.
It's like, it's just a love for it. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to wherever else it takes me. Cause, like I said, I'm not gonna stop. So, whatever doors come to open.
You're open to it.
Open to it.
So. Also, one thing I got too is that music is like therapy for you, producing.
Mm-hmm. So, shit, anything I go through, I just put it through the beats. So, I think somebody asked me like, when do I know? You just asked me too, but somebody, my boy, Mari B, he's like, when do I know? Like, how do I know the beat is done? Do you like keep listening to it, or do you just like listen to it like when you're making it and then you just, you finish it right then and there? And I was like, nigga, I fucking listen to that shit. If I can't listen to it over and over and over again, it's not it for me. Like, I'm not exporting it. You know what I'm saying? So
when you say it has to give you a high,
right? That's exactly what I was about to say.
Got you.
So that, in a sense, is like the therapeutic aspect of it. So like I let myself pour into it so I can really like enjoy it.
Okay.
I guess if that makes sense, you know what I mean? So
I think I would be doing the audience a disservice if I didn't ask you, how did you come up with the name Mattics?
I think I don't have an answer for that.
Okay.
C Mose came up with it.
Okay.
I can't even.
Shout out to Simo Easy,
right,
man.
Shout out to he was like, we was going into a backyard because it was a backyard garage studio, and he was like, yo, like he just stopped randomly. He's like, yo, you like math? And mind you, I'm gonna just share some embarrassing details. Like my producer name before this was Skins, and I only had it as Skins because bitches was calling me Skins in high school. So I just went with that shit, but I knew I wanted to rock with that name, but I knew I was like, I wasn't confident about it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
So I knew I had to change that shit eventually. So we was walking to the backyard, and he just stopped, man. He's like, yo, you like math? What was your favorite subject in high school? He was like, I was like English. He was like, oh, if it was math, I would say you should just call yourself mathematics or Mattics or something like that. I was like, you know what? That don't sound like a bad idea. And then, so I had that in mind, and I think Jermaine was around when that conversation started, and he actually hit me up like maybe 2-3 months later with a sample, this Dre sample, is still Mattic, and he said still Mattic after math, some shit like that, after mathematics, and he chopped after mathematics, and he just chopped like Mattics, and that was my tag. I just ran with it.
Oh,
ever since then. And now this is Mattics.
I always thought Hurricane said Mattics.
No,
I didn't know he's the one that chopped it. Oh,
and then I was rocking with that tag for like 4 or 5 years until I just wound up meeting some voiceover girl that worked for like Sony. I just paid her to just do what I thought was like a more professional tag, like a more standout tag. Because honestly, my tag was just dirty. I don't know, it just sounded dirty because it was just Mattics. Yeah, and it was like it was no flair really in my opinion, because I was just growing into like more stylish beats and shit like that. I just felt like that at the beginning of my beats is just kind of dragged it down. Like I didn't. After you hear that, you didn't want to hear the beat. You know what I mean? So
okay,
that was my reasoning on that.
I bet. Shit. Is there anything that you want to tell people? I already know that you got the project coming with 2777. Was there anything that you just want to let people know that we didn't already discuss?
I have a website I'm working on, so people can grab my beats instead of just having to actually meet me and like get my email and like, get to know me if you don't want to get to know me. But I have to have a store. 'Cause,
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm just as shy as the next person. I don't want to fucking get to know people. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm working on a website so we can start collaborating with more and more people.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
You hit 15 minutes.
Fire.
Oh yeah. Yeah.